Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University and Bully Wars, issue number 1. Alright, we're going to get into who actually did this comic book, and then we'll talk about the comic itself and my thoughts in general on it. Starting off with, Skottie Young is the one doing the story. The art is Aaron Conley. Colors, Jean-Francois Bellew. Lettering, Nate Piekos of Blambot. I guess Blambot is the lettering company. And editor, Ken Wagenschultz. Design, Carrie Hall. This is by Image Comics. Also, any of those names that I got wrong, make no mistake, it was not accidental necessarily. This is not a mispronunciation. Rather, I'm simply protecting the names of the innocent as they go into witness protection program. Or at least that's my story and I'm sticking to it because I'm tired of getting people's names wrong. Anyway, real talk. So we got some characters in here we got to meet. We got Ernie, Edith, and Spencer. Spencer seems to be the main of these characters. They're all kids who are just being bullied. And there's this guy, Rufus, and they're going to Rotting House School, something like that. This is the first day of high school. All throughout middle school, Rufus has been bullying these guys, and they've been taking one heck of a beating. But little do they realize they were all small fish in much, much bigger ponds. And high school is, of course, the culmination of all that. You know, it's funny, like I remember we'd have three grade schools. We'd have the one middle school, and then we'd have the high school where there were 2 other middle schools that would go to also, and they themselves had 3 or 4 junior schools. So like, where did all these kids come from? We're all just like piled into one big clump. And yeah, you're just constantly meeting new people all the time. And of course, there's going to be different sized fish everywhere you go. So there, this kid thinks that he's going to be the big Rufus. He thinks he's going to be the biggest bully as usual because he always has been, and he's not very good with change. He should probably read this book called Who Moved My Cheese? Really good book on understanding new leadership and the system of change. But anyway, all that aside, this knucklehead decides to start bullying, and he's giving the philosophy of bullying as best he can, but there's this dude named Hawk, and he's got his own toadies. And it's funny because this kind of reminds me of Boy Meets World, how, though I don't remember the name of all those guys there, but those bullies in that school, like this is the perfect reminder of that. This is fantastic. I love this. So the bullies right now seem to be the main characters, but they might not be because Spencer has a plan. What's that plan? Well, it turns out that Rufus is being bullied by the new lead bully, Hawk. And he's just like, you know, you're a freshman bully. Literally, you're a freshman in the school. I've been here forever. And the size of him, he looks like he's an adult. This kind of reminds me of, what was that, High Times? No, that was the magazine. What the hell was the name of that one movie? All right. That one. Like, I keep on getting Matthew McConaughey. You know what I love about high school girls? I keep getting older and they just stay the same. Like that's what this reminds me of. This reminds me of the Ben Affleck of that school. What do you call it? This kid's getting beaten up. He's getting shoved into lockers. All the, you know, wedgies hung up, spray painted, all these things that he's done to other kids and more. He's getting it done to him, and he just can't cope. He can't cope with it. And Spencer, the way he comes out is hysterical. Spencer comes out and he says, listen, I'm going to help you get back into the head of things because as it turns out, there's this thing called the Bully Wars, all right? And not only has Rufus never won, he didn't even know about it because he's never gotten an invite. So he's just like, how did I not know about this? I thought I was the head bully. I thought it was, but he was such small time. It was ridiculous. So this is going to be about the nerds trying to help Rufus become the leader, the winner of Bully Wars. Oh my God, this is weird. So, full disclosure, and most if you're just now coming to this channel and learning about Comic Book University, understand I've made this clear before. I don't know that much about Skottie Young. I know him more by his art than anything else, and I love his art, the little chibi type characters, the kitty characters that he does, the little Avengers and stuff like that, the little Gotham, whatever. I really like those things, you know? As far as his writing, the only thing that, top of my head, I could think of is the current Deadpool series, the ongoing, and I'm not a fan of it. I fell off after issue 3, I think. Excuse me, I think issue 3, I finally fell off of it. I just wasn't into it. And granted, most of that is because of Deadpool fatigue. Like, there's just too much Deadpool coming at us at one time. He's in every single book, practically. So yeah, Deadpool fatigue is a real thing. It's a genuine medical, go and look it up on WebMD. I'm probably going to type it in there myself after this video is finished. But the point is that it's a real thing. All right, you can get fatigued. So that might be most of the reason why I can't just continue. And I don't like reading a comic book if I don't enjoy it. I'm not one of those channels. Here, however, this is a fresh take for me on Skottie Young, and oh my God, this is really good. The writing on this, it's drawing me in. I know this was like a 32-page comic or something like that. It was a comic and a half sized issue. Yet I felt like it just wasn't enough. I just kept on flipping the pages, turning the page, and I'm reading every single thing. It was gorgeous. I love this book. And speaking of gorgeous, the art was fantastic. I'm used to the idea that Skottie's going to be doing the art, and it's just going to be such a fun comic. But no, Aaron Conley on this. Wow, this was really good. Like, the detail involved in this comic book, you could tell Aaron loves drawing this comic book. You know, and that goes for everybody who's involved in this. Colors, letters, everything. You could tell they're really into this comic book. That's one of the things that really makes a comic book good, is when the people are actually really into it. It's not just doing it for a job. You're going to enjoy the comic book a lot more, because that love is transferring over to us. It's translated very well. So I have to recommend this book, at least by this first issue. Now, mind you, if you're also new to this channel, I have to do this with my number ones. All of my number one issues that I review, I spoil the heck out of it. I will not be spoiling all the other issues. Not nearly as bad. I will give certain talking points, but I'm not going to spoil the entire comic book, so deal with it. All right? And that's it. Done. Yeah, I'll probably be reading issue number 2. This is a really fun book. I expected it would be, and bang. All right, guys, that's it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.